I was about to sleep, taken by the waves of a drying heat of that afternoon in Tunis. Friday afternoon, 2 hours French lecture, I was bored. I was looking at the clock, or it was looking at me, and time felt like it was going backwards. I was so tired, I forgot my name, or how old I was. What I just said is absurd. My name is Nour Feki, and I was 15-year-old at the time. We are in class, of course. The AC is not working, of course. And of course, the teacher is talking to a bunch of students whose main preoccupation was the party in a couple of hours. I was falling asleep. And then I was awakened by the teacher's striking words. She said, "Existentialism. Born as a lost soul, humans build their path in the chaos and fall. In their deathbed, they ask the question, once and for all, what is the meaning of all of this?" Nobody responds. And the only thing they could hear is the echo of the meaning they built for themselves. She didn't say that, I just invented it. Let me tell you what she exactly said. She was talking to the board, of course, and then she was like, existentialism is a philosophical theory or approach which emphasizes the existence of the individual person as a free and responsible agent, determining their own development through acts of the will. It was born in France, blah, 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 blah. Bref, I do not want to make you fall asleep. Sleep is the problem of how philosophy is taught. It makes you sleep. Well, it was designed to make you curious. It is designed to be complex and blurry, and maybe that's the beauty of it. But it was also designed to be for what was called the intellectual elites. And I'm sure even then, back at the days, they had no idea of what those philosophers wanted to say. It was just cool at their time, you know, so they were like nodding yes, but no. They didn't understand anything. So let us challenge philosophy. Let's modernize it. Let's democratize it and capture its beauty in simple terms. What existentialism says is that life has no meaning. There's no such thing as a path you have to follow or a mission you were sent to accomplish. Of course, many philosophers have shot their shots and have already answered that question for us, giving us the recipe of a successful life. From Jean-Paul Sartre to Albert Camus, imagining a world with no destiny or divinity meant absolute liberty. But it's also a source of anxiety. What should we do? For them, we should act in absolute freedom. We should revolt and we should love. But I mean, of course, I was 15 at the days. I was like, puberty just hit. I wasn't even listening to my dad. I'm not going to listen to a 50-year-old, right? So I decided to figure it out by myself. From the 15-year-old sitting in that French lecture to the 19-year-old you have in front of you, a lot has changed. I've moved, discovered, lived in 3 different countries, experienced 3 different educational systems, made and lost friends, lost and found myself again. And I think I'm starting to grasp the essence of that nonsense those guys were saying. L'existence précède l'essence. Or existence precedes the essence. Ugh. But make no mistakes, that guy was right about something. You are the only one that can actually make a difference. So I'm not going to give you the recipe of a successful life. That is something for you to figure it out. But what I'm going to try and give you is a recipe of a life you own, a life you own. My theory is very simple. And it starts with a very simple term. Ownership comes through one vital aspect. Ownership comes with you defining who you are. As simple as that, right? Nothing has a meaning before it is defined. Nothing has a meaning before it is defined. So let me ask you to take 20 seconds to close your eyes and to try to answer that simple, not so simple question of who are you? I want to see everyone closing their eyes, trying to answer that existential question. Now, open your eyes, and I'll take my shot. I'll try to do it for me, and let's classify the traits together. My name is Nour. I'm Tunisian. I'm 19 years old, and I'm a female. Biological traits. I can't change them, right? I'm a student at Hult International Business School studying finance and business analytics, my life decisions. I'm funny, well, at least I hope. I think I'm ambitious, kind. Actually, when I was rehearsing for this speech, my friend said, "I thought you're stubborn." So yes, I'm also stubborn. And if you think back to your definitions too, and you said something like I'm kind, I mean, or even I speak 2 languages, that is not you defining yourself, but others defining you. In reality, we do not live in a vacuum. And your definition of yourself does not exist until someone confirms it too. We always say that we are like this, or we behave like this, because someone stated that about you previously. So, what is a question I can ask you? What if a hero saves a child and no one has seen it to confirm it? Is he a hero? Calvinism believes that work is the meaning of life, but if you're a teacher with nobody to teach, are you a teacher? Okay. If a firefighter saves the cat, and the cat is the only witness, he might think he's a hero, but others are just going to see a firefighter who prefers chasing cats in the park than doing his own duties. 2 very different definitions. And the difference of how you define yourself and how others define you can cause misunderstanding and unhappiness. Okay, imagine you're a student, entrepreneurship at Hult. You give all your best for that exam, and then here comes the grade, you have a D. Your teacher says you're lazy. You have 2 options. It's either you define yourself through your actions and you prove him wrong, or you let your teacher define you. You probably think that, yes, you are lazy, you overestimated yourself, and you are a failure. There's a gap between how you define yourself and how others define you. And your existence does not have the meaning you want it to have if that gap persists. Like there's a tiny gap between a hero and a villain. We were talking about that with my friend Ines, and do you know Gru? Yeah? The character of Despicable Me. Well, in the first part, we see Gru as the perfect villain. He's trying to steal the moon. He acts mean and careless. He also says it, I am a villain. But then we realize when we see Gru's childhood that he was just a kid that was defined as a villain by his surroundings. So he was like, because I can't change their definition, you know what? I'm going to be a villain. I'll be the worst one of them all. And do you know what I believe? Is that when he met those 3 little girls and those bunch of minions, his life changed completely. Because he might be a villain to humankind, but he was a hero to the eyes of those 3 little girls and those bunch of yellow-headed minions. They understood him. They saw him for what he truly was. So can I tell you the secret of a life you own after defining yourself? It is to find your minions. Find your people. Life is a journey. And who you're walking with matters just as much as where you're going. And because people understand you to the extent that you understand themselves, you need to go out there and find people who see the world in a way that resonates with you. They don't have to be exactly like you. No one will ever share the exact same destination. But they should share your vision, your drive, and your direction. Because, as we said, life has no meaning. There's no such thing as a path we have to follow or a mission we were sent to accomplish, which means that you are the compass. You need to build that path. You are the leader, setting the direction. You are the builder, but never, never forget that you're also the building in construction, where everyone around you adds a little brick, a bit of rain, and a little flower to make you who you are today. I'm going to say something, and my dad is probably going to be watching this and be like, yes, but my dad was right. Because he told me that the 5 people that you surround yourself with define you just as much as you do. And he was right. Today, you guys are surrounding me, and without knowing it, you added a layer to my definition of myself. I'm still Nour. I'm still a female for what I know. I'm still a student at Hult. But now I'm also a TEDx speaker. Because in reality, you are the ones defining me. You took the time to be here and listen to me speaking about philosophy and guys in the 20th century. If it wasn't for you, people will just be walking and be like, she's crazy talking to herself. And that's 2 very different definitions. Now I want to ask you the question. Who are you? And who's that person sitting on your right and left? And what's their importance to defining you just as much as you do? Thank you.